What's wrong with your voice?
There is nothing wrong with my voice.
Oh, well, it's just sort of.
I have been playing my video games and electronic games for so many hours.
Uh-huh. Well, it sounds like it might be time for you to take a break, or...
Hello, Dad.
Susan?
I have been watching TV and text messaging all morning. Yay, electronics. Yay, yay, yay.
Guys, I think it's about time to get in the car and take a little trip. Maybe see some trees, some green things.
What are these green things you speak of?
This weekend, unplug. Take your family to the forest. There's nothing in the world like experiencing nature firsthand. Trees, paths, bluebirds, streams. Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. To find the forest nearest you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Here on Be Exposed Radio. I am your host for today, Brother Noah. My co-host here is Monty. You gotta speak, Monty.
What's up, y'all?
So, our normal host, Nate, is indisposed for the day. He's not feeling well. It's nothing major, but still keep him in your prayers, keep him in your good thoughts. But again, welcome to the Artist Exchange. It is Friday, TGIF. Thank you. It's been a hard week. It's been a hot week, actually. The guest that we have that's going to be on our second segment is Sharan Nixon. She is the designer for the Baltimore Fashion Week, and they actually have a topic, a theme, a design for each week, and that begins next Monday. So please stay tuned for that. But before we get there, Monty, tell me, who is the hottest rapper in Maryland today? Your opinion.
I don't know, bro. That's a hard question. In Maryland, I think say Q the Fool right now.
Yeah?
Yeah, Q the Fool from Largo.
Yeah. Well, tell us a little bit more about this Q the Fool.
I mean, bro, he's just a rapper. Everybody got their little niche. You know, he just holding his down real good right now. I like Scholar too. I'll be a Scholar, from Baltimore. Scholar, but.
So, do any of these rappers, and we can span it down to the Baltimore scale, like a Young Moose or a Scholar or a Q the Fool, for today's world, like, are you looking for rappers to just be more than entertainers? Do you want them to be more like a staple for the community? A lot of violence here in Maryland, even though they rap about violence. Do you expect them to uphold some sort of like pillar, some sort of light, be a positive output, be it with giving back money or opening up rec centers or such? Do you expect that from rappers now?
I mean, everybody's gonna do their own little thing. They get back in their own ways, and they from their communities, the people they know. Not everybody we come from a real hard city. Like, you're not just going to, something you've been grinding your whole life for, just going to immediately start giving it away. It's going to take some time and somebody to help walk with them to show them what to do, not just going down the block and giving out money, because that's not going to affect change. That's not going to change nothing. Yeah. They're going to spend their money tomorrow, and then the neighborhood's still going to be messed up. Yeah. But it's going to take some guidance. We all need guidance, even as grown men, to try to help better our community. But I don't really know. Who am I though, brother?
Absolutely.
Nobody.
I mean, I think the reason why I brought that up is because you know that Pennsylvania Avenue has been deemed the Black Arts District now.
The Avenue is the Avenue, or the Avenue was the Avenue.
So for folks who are going to be buying businesses or buying property there that pertains to any artistry, and that can span to like the boxing center that Tank's from, the Jubilee Art Center. You can open up a record company there and start producing raps there. And theater, music, dance, any business that would pertain around artistry, you would get a tax credit. I'm not so sure specifically what the details are, so anybody who's listening who is an entrepreneur who wants to get a property or business on Pennsylvania Avenue, there is major tax credit. Please research it now. Even if you don't have a business, get a couple of your homeboys, get an LLC, and you guys can have that shared credit and get a business.
Right.
So the reason why I brought that up about the rappers, you have the art district here on Pennsylvania Avenue. At the same time, Sandtown and that area is being gentrified. They already handed out the Section 8 vouchers.
To move,
A lot of the public homes are being boarded up, being knocked down, and the people are moving. Is it time for these folks, these young mooses, these schools, these the fools, to start putting their money into these resources? Because eventually it's going to be white folks that are coming with their organizations that are going to buy it up and then charge us obscene prices to rent it out.
Yeah.
So do you think now is this time?
Now is the time, but that's what going back to what I was saying earlier. We all need some guidance. Not everybody knows how to apply for these grants and who to go through to buy the house. Yeah. All they know is how they was raised and do what they know how they good at. Right. You know, but we all need some guidance. We need people like we need everybody to help pitch in to try to educate the community, because without education, we're always gonna continue the same thing we've been doing for years and years and years and years, and nothing gonna change. We're just we're only gonna be able to do what they allow us to do. Yeah. So that'll be the best thing. Yeah. Is somebody to help us, like go through these communities but everybody. We need to reach out as a community too, because they do have real estate classes for us, and it's little ways out here for us to, I don't know, brother, no, back to you.
I mean, I completely understand what you're saying. There are resources out here that we can research and get some financial independence, but at the same time, I mean, if folks ain't on that ideology, they're not going to do it. Yeah, they're going to get that. They're going to
continue to do what they want. Right. They're going to continue to do the same thing they've been doing and getting by, just to get by the next day. Right. But we need somebody to walk with us hand in hand, day by day. Call us, hey, how your property doing? Did you check on, blah blah blah? Did you fill out all your stuff you need to fill out? Did you get all your grants to rehab your house? Or don't just start doing it, because that's another way they'll knock you down. They'll come. You don't get the permits, they'll come and knock your whole project down. You got to start over, because you didn't check with the city. So we need people to help us understand this every step. Not just the idea of go buy a house and go start a business. It's not that simple. Yeah. And we have no experience doing it, because our fathers didn't do it. Absolutely. Our grandfathers didn't do it. We have no experience. We need people that have done it, that have the experience, these entrepreneurs, that come walk with us hand by hand, step by step. I know it probably will be irritating, but that'll be the only way we can really start change. Yeah. That's how we can teach our children how to do it the correct way. Yes. After they already gone to college, got their degree, because we want them to go on the right path. We don't want them to continue to do the same thing we do. Work a dead-end job for 10, 15 years. Maybe you make it to your 401k. Maybe you don't. Maybe you got to find a new job. Yeah. Now you're 35, 45. Just a brand new job, starting a brand new job. Dead end. We got to change. We got to do what they're doing if we want to get better. Every aspect of it. We got to do better.
Absolutely. I mean, and I think it starts with patience for those entrepreneurs, for those black and brown bodies that are already established, that already have foundation, either when it comes to business or the educational field. I think it's time for you guys to start reaching back. Yeah. I mean, I find it like
they don't want to do us the courteous. Yeah. When you go to buy a car from them or something, or you don't got what? Nah, they do us the courteous. Absolutely. You buy something from them, like a store or property, rent something from them. Yeah. They the slumlords, they the ones that do us the courteous. Yep. And we gotta make sure we looking out for, not even looking out for each other. Each one teach one. Each one teach one. Yeah. That's just what it is, bro. Because you can't. If you're gonna rent out property to somebody, and what if that was your mother, you rent that property out to? You got holes all on the wall, the BG&E, the electricity don't really work like that. Some of the salads don't work. You don't want, you gotta make sure the people that you gaining your money from, you treating them just as good as they treating you by giving you your money. Yeah. We don't care about that. People, once you get we get what we got, and we got a little business or a little dealership or our store, ain't no cut cards. No, you only want to see, they want to excel, just like everyone else, but at the same time, we need to bring each other up. That's the only way our community gonna get better. Yes. Because now I see the guy at the store, yeah, he black, but I don't even go in there. Never do that. Never.
Absolutely. I mean, I think it starts with us. I mean, it starts with conversations like this. The need and the feeling inside yourself to want to change.
Right.
But
absolutely,
it's two worlds, and I think these two worlds need to come together. You have this I mean, for the lack of a better term, like this hood society. I mean, which is now rich. It is a whole multi-billion-dollar conglomerate when it comes to the music business, fashion, culture. Like urban culture stems from hood living.
We're the number one consumers in the world.
Yeah.
We're the only nationality that doesn't have a byproduct or a gimmick.
Yeah.
We're consumers. We're the number one consumers in the world, African Americans.
Absolutely.
Not just like black people, African Americans. The number one consumers. We just buy. Like.
So I think it's time for us to start being more independent financially. As far as the educational field, there's no way in hell that you're still sending your child to the Baltimore public school education and expecting them really to excel past anything that being a repetitious work. But I just wanted to get this one point. There are two worlds. You have this hood society that is a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate, and then you have these newly entrepreneurs who probably went to a college, who got a certification if they didn't go to a college, and they're out here getting money. They have everything in theory, but they don't have enough money or sufficiency to really get their business off the ground. Right. So I really think both sides need each other.
Right.
You need the hood society's foundations, fans, money,
marketing,
with
everything.
the entrepreneur's theory. Right. And so we can really start owning some businesses and property in this city. Because otherwise, it's going to be 10 years from now when the next wave happens, and then we're going to be moved out of the county, and then where to? You know, there's no way in hell that we have all of this money. You're right. We are the number one consumer. We have all of this money that we're pushing out, but yet we don't have any independence.
Any way of coming back, right?
So I think, Aldo, is that our break? I will make that our break. Thank you for listening in, and we'll be right back on the Artist Exchange Radio here on BeExposedRadio.com. Thank you. Yeah.
Take a minute and listen to this flashback of the Artist Exchange radio show.
Any trouble, because I get into any trouble, but I had a problem that this then became a discussion at that workplace environment. Now, the discussion was I should have been more sensitive. In what way was my first response? And I guess when I had to meet with that said person who had the issue with the person who was said leader of that organization. Okay. I said, well, to that person, how would I have known that? Well, you should have asked.
I think so. You want my opinion?
It was a circle, and I was willing to go on that merry-go-round.
You are better than most.
Yeah.
I think that's normal when you're in a group and there's norming. Most of the time when you're in new work environments or you're in a space where you're getting to know people, it's normal now to ask for people's preferred pronouns. You wouldn't have known that.
Normal to who? What is normal?
Well, you work in social... You
but
work
I don't
in social
feel the
innovation
need to give my pronouns, so it's not normal to me.
You don't, but I think, because I feel like the person was probably offended because they felt like you were not honoring whoever they are, right? But you wouldn't have known that.
Still to this moment, I don't know what their pronouns are. So in that whole circle, we still don't know. So I'll go as far as saying I perceived it to be a she.
Perceive them to be a she.
Them.
Yeah.
Her, him, they,
them. It seems like they, them would be the easiest one on this one.
Join us every Monday and Friday at 2 p.m. for the Artist Exchange radio show, only on BeExposedRadio.com.
Whatever happened to the times when we cared for one another? We shared the same respect. What is happening? We're trading what's important for shiny things. I can't allow this blasphemy. of unspoken battles we won. You're so much better than that. Sometimes the truth ain't always catchy as rap. Stop chasing cheese or you get stuck in a trap. Go get your crown and never render it back. No, it's blasphemy. Why would you treat yourself like that? Stop all that blasphemy. We didn't come this far just to fall right back. Baby, you're a god. You're a god. You're a god. You're a god. Baby, you're a god. You're a god. Baby, you're a god. Believe that. You're way too gifted to stop and listen. It's condescending, not to mention all of our ignorance is their permission to. I know you like to turn up like that. With a drink to pull up like that.
Like the one thing you always gotta remember is people gonna try to project their insecurities onto you. But you can't listen to what them niggas saying. You gotta get out here and do your shit regardless. You gonna do what you love for the rest of your life anyway. So why not turn that shit into something? Be a man of everything you say. This shit bigger than me, man. Like yeah, I'm good and all that, but you know what I mean? I ain't shit without y'all. So no matter what you up, you gotta go hard. Don't matter. Can you imagine how I really having nothing is? Stomach growling, you ain't got no food in the fridge. Surviving on a jail diet of water and bread. No father figure, that's cause my father dead. Mom's bringing different niggas in and out the crib. No money, so you seen it's less than all your friends. But it a joke because your mother was a crackhead. Older sister hoeing off.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Green light. Hey girl, school zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection clear. Yeah, street. Pizza sounds good. Ball in street? Girl in street!
It's hard to concentrate on two things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Join the Just a Bit Outside crew every Monday, 8 to 10 p.m. on BeExposedRadio.com.
You want to start off?
I think I'll get it out of the way on a who's not.
Okay, do it.
The Orioles.
Right.
They got swept by the Royals. They lost 4 in a row, and the last 5 games have all been decided by 1 run. The game before, or the last game that they lost before the Royals was the Nationals, and it was Weeders, of course, won with a home run.
Hit the home run.
Right.
They were going into that National series. It seemed like they were doing so well, and they just crapped out. They got that game postponed, so who knows when they're going to replay that or play that game. That's my first not for the night.
Okay.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Welcome back to our radio show here on BeExposedRadio.com. I am your host, Brother Noah, and your fabulous co-host here, Monty. Before we get into our next segment, we got Rats. Tell me about my show, brother.
Oh yeah, the show. The Crusade by Bruce Bonifay. It's gonna be at 45 West Preston Street, August 9th through the 18th. Only on the weekends though, so come check that out. It's gonna be, a crusade. What else to say?
What else can you say about the crusade? Yeah, so I'm starred in this world premiere action-packed theater show called Crusade by a California writer, Bruce Bonifay. It's going to be at Theater Projects, opening next Friday. Industry night is actually going to be August the 12th on that Monday. So if you wanted to get in half price, because tickets are $20, I think Industry night you get in for about $10, something like that. So come in, check it out. It is an awesome story about futuristic America in a world if Christians had taken over the Constitution, the American government, and we are like a renegade army squadron that is going against it. But I'm not telling you anymore because I want you guys to come out and check it out. Again, there's going to be Crusade at Theater Projects opening next Friday, August 9th through the 18th. So, our next segment here with Mr. Monty is, we got rats, brother. I know you heard you saw the tweet from Donald Trump talking about that Baltimore.
I don't have Twitter.
You don't have
I'm
Twitter?
not active on Twitter. I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
Just the gram. I just chase the gram. I just chase the gram.
In fact, what's your Instagram handle?
563_Mondo.
Follow man. 563_Mondo. So, Donald Trump tweeted that Baltimore is pretty much a cesspool of filth, and we are nothing. We filled with rats. We filled with roaches, rodents. Our leaders failed us, and most recently today, he tweeted because Elijah Cummings' house got broken into, and he tweeted, he's pretty much an asshole.
No, he did that because he goon.
Oh yeah,
he did that.
He sent his presidential goons out there.
He did that
and broke into his house.
They were probably gonna kill Elijah Cummings, but he probably wasn't home, so they made just. But Donnie did that.
I want to know, please, somebody, you can call in or type us on Facebook if I am wrong, but for all the years that Elijah Cummings has served as our congressman here, has this house ever been broken into? I don't think so, but again, if I'm wrong, please school me to the game. But I've never heard Elijah Cummings' house being broken into. All of a sudden, because Cheeto Head decides to put light on him in a negative manner, all of a sudden his house is broken into. But here, you know me, I always like to throw the side of the opposition. Even though what he said is ignorant, and us as Baltimoreans, we have that pride, so we would never accept the bullshittery that came from the Cheeto's mouth. But when you really sit back and think about it, with all the leadership that he did call out, what the hell have they done for this city? I mean, on the real, Elijah Cummings' district is what, the 21217 area. He lives in that, his house that got broken into is in the 21217 area, is on Madison Street. But it's still an open drug market on Pennsylvania Avenue, and according to Drug Inc., makes $2 million from MLK to North Avenue every month. There's still an open drug market. You still have violence there. You still have shootings. You still have just the everyday hood camaraderie. You still have gentrification. You still have food deserts. You still have the poor education in the school, not school system, but just the schools in that area that are just plainly deplorable. I worked at Booker T. Washington schools, middle schools this year. We didn't have one in the winter. It was cold. It was hot in the summer. Rats, rodents, roaches. So even though it's a hard pill to swallow because it's old Cheeto Man that's saying it, but really these political figures, these leaders, all of our mayors, these congressmen, these councilmen that we vote in, Baltimore City folks specifically, that we've been voting in for decades, what have they done on a consistent basis to help perpetuate the city, minus putting in money downtown? Nothing. Nothing at all. And what is happening now in Sandtown, while they have deemed it a black art district, as we talked about earlier, you literally have 4 or 5 construction companies breaking up the water, fixing the water mains, knocking down houses. There's an apartment building on McMecken and Utah Street. And if you don't know, if you know, then you know. If you don't know, find out. McMecken and Utah, right across from the PJ, you got to stop, shop, and save right there. There's an apartment complex that a studio is $1,200. There's a restaurant downstairs, and the blue plate is about $50 to $60. But there's a stop, shop, and save across the street that you can't even get no fresh broccoli from. So gentrification is happening and it is real. So again, I ask, even though the Cheeto said it, what have our political figures done for us? And I try to be a man of solution based. So what can they do for us now? Us being residents of 21217, you live north, east, southwest. You as a Baltimorean, what do you think Elijah Cummings can do better? What do you think our congressmen, our councilmen, our mayors, be it interim or voted in, can do better specifically for your neighborhood?
That's a great question. Do we need to start? I don't know, brother.
I mean, well,
That's a great
just
question.
as a black man in Baltimore City, what do you want to see change?
Far as me, it's too late for me. I want to see change with these children. That's who our future. They say it, but that's the honest to God truth. Like our children, as long as they are like really taught, we can't fail. Like we can just lay back and just make sure we're still providing for them. But we need to make sure they're straight. Like our kids are gonna be the ones taking care of us in the next 50 years, bro. Like, and I want to make sure she can take care of me the right way. I won't be in old folks' home.
True.
See, do you smell the Baltimore? Have you ever been to a Baltimore old folks' home?
No.
Go to if you have, oh my God, grandparents or parents in a Baltimore old folks' home. I don't mean to say old folks' home. I'm sorry, retirement center. Please go check on them because they are terrible, terrible places. Terrible. Please.
Is it worse than what's that hospital on by Lexington Terrace? Bond.
Yeah.
Is it worse than that?
Good. Any of them. It's
I
terrible.
was told if you go to Bond Security, you gonna
Bond
die.
Security.
Bond Security. But you were absolutely right, Monty. I think that. Thank you. I think that the wave of the future.
Our children, bro.
Is our children.
Our schools, like if you want, just our schools. That's the only thing for me. Like anything else, these are adults.
Yeah.
But our kids, yeah.
Gotcha.
That's what I could see going for these schools, bro. And everything after because they don't have any rec centers to go out to. When they get out, most of these kids when you got to eat.
Yeah.
So like for a rec center where you can go get a meal, you know what I'm saying, or like a little snack bag you to take home. Cause you probably got a little brother, little sister that's home hungry. So that's what we need. Our kids, bro.
So on that note, we're going to take a break, but please stay tuned because we're going to come back with some more juicy topics. And please stay tuned for our next segment with our guest, Sharan Nixon. And we'll be right back on the Artist Exchange Radio here on BeExposedRadio.com.
This unknown to find who we really are. Crash into something new and take a break from our broken heart. Talk with the hip, tell me you lie. I think we should go for another round. Baby, try not to say too much. Let your love come down. If you wanna rule, there's some rules you gotta live by. Live by. Stay true to your cool, make a move. Don't wait on nobody else. And if it feels like a melody, sing a song we already own. And if you follow me there, I'll follow you back. Let the night unfold. I can tell that she can't get enough. Show enough, she couldn't keep the feels up from me. Oh no, she couldn't keep the feels up from me. Touching hands till we dance in the dark. Show enough, she couldn't keep the feels up from me. We do whatever you like. Keep the feels up from me. Oh no, she couldn't keep the feels up from me. Let's slide, you and me alone, to find who we really are. Crash into something new. I got that leg banging up the car. You told me you kiss, told me you lie. I think we should go for another round. Baby, I wanna take you, but we gotta groove so we can lose the crowd. If you wanna rule, there's some rules you gotta live by. Live by. Stay true to your cool, make a move.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Get a nervousness kick off.
Yes, welcome back to the Artist Exchange Radio here on BeExposedRadio.com.
Black.
I am your host, Brother Noah, and your co-host for the day, Monty. So we were diving deep in a conversation just about the recent comments that Donald Trump, or aka the Cheeto, F Donald Trump, just for the record.
Can't cuss on here?
The Cheeto had said about Baltimore, and I hit the oppositional side. I said, even though it's a hard pill to swallow because there was a Cheeto man that said it, you sit back and think about it. Before we get back into the conversation, because we really just going and sliding into the educational part and really not focus on our needs, but what we need to do to make sure our children can strive. Damian Poole, one of our viewers, he said, "It's nothing Elijah Cummings can do."
He's absolutely right. He's absolutely right.
We need to put the pressure on our local government to do their part. So that's why I expanded it out. Not just our congressman that is going to D.C., but all of our local officials, all those folks when it comes campaign season that be knocking on your door, filling up your mailbox with all that random crap, and you've never heard of them before. Those are the people that we need to start pressuring. And yes, my black folk, it's going to take a little bit of work. It's going to take a little bit of determination. But I tell you what, if we can span together. Is your mic on? Yes. Yeah. Can you hear? Yeah. Test. Sorry, we were having a little bit of technical difficulties, but I think we're good. I hope we're good. Okay. If we can span together and throw all these fantastic parties, hood things, weed smoking.
There's a weed smoking. Oh, keep that
roll
up.
a blunt. Get on Google and all right. So who is my councilman for this area? I want to send him I'm gonna go down to his office. I'm gonna send him a letter and express how I'm feeling. And if it's you and everybody in that community, you could possibly get change. I mean, we are the ones that hold the power when it comes to campaign season because we're the ones who hire them.
Let them know we ain't voting for him next time. We ain't gonna vote for you. You got 6 months to get right.
And they feed off of that. They feed off of our ignorance. They feed off the fact that when it comes to campaign season, we weren't really looking at any of their policies or anything they were talking about. So it's really the person who has the most advertisement you're going to vote for. They understand
that. So Monty hold it down because Noah went out of sound.
Out of sight.
Noah is absolutely right when it comes to we got to put pressure on them and not let up and be heard. Let them know what we feel is important and not what they feel like is important, and what just not sitting back and be quiet. We need to be heard.
We need to be heard, and we need to be heard today.
Yeah,
because
not tomorrow.
Just for my black folks, specifically in Sandtown, Winchester, 21217, the 17. You heard me on the avenue when the avenue was the avenue. You wasn't there, you never knew. For those folks, we don't have no power. We are being pushed by mass again with folks with money, contractors.
Just like they did over east with John Hopkins. They bought everything over east near John Hopkins.
Yep.
Every little vacant they can grab. And even people that were living there, they just bought them out. Like, we gotta do better. We gotta do better.
And it starts today.
Talking can solve nothing. We need to pick up the phone and reach out to who we know. We all has that one person. We all got that one person in our family that got a little pull. We need to get on the horn and let them know, like, hey, now's the time. Why not? Our kids, we can't wait for our kids to do it. If they even have the attention span to do it, they might be focused on themselves already. We need to make sure if they are focused on themselves, they have nobody stopping them. There's no obstacles they gotta jump. There's no 6 or 7 hurdles. They can run straight through the marathon the whole time.
Yep.
Like, this is. We face obstacles every day. We face jump hurdles every day just to get to work.
Yep.
Alive. This is Baltimore City. They killing the coolest people now. People that's not even trying to be tough or gangsters or out here. They not killing the drug dealers no more. They killing barbers and people that design clothes. Like, no, this city is going. It's getting out of hand.
And to go back to what we were getting into before we went on our break, it starts with
little girls,
the children, our educational system, and I am a Baltimore City school teacher, and I have been so for the last 5 years. And I can say with major confidence that the Baltimore public school system is and has failed our children. They have no policies or workings in place that has any inkling of changing it. They have reduced our children to quantitative numbers, and each of our children, as if for a prisoner, has a number on their head, and it is a certain amount of profit that
per
the
day.
state makes.
Yeah, per day.
Per day for
Right.
those children.
It's like a prison.
I would say in the next 10 years, my theory, just being in multiple schools in this school system, in 10 years, it's going to be completely privatized. The kids won't even have to report to a building. Everything is going to be online. They've already started it. The head of the school system isn't called superintendent. It's called the CEO. Last time I checked, the CEO has one thing in common: to maximize profit for business. But we're not even going to get too deep into that, because we can go into that for the whole segment. It starts with the children. It's a lot of families, a lot of folks who have the time and the money are homeschooling their kids.
Or private school, like
private
these private schools like these public schools. I mean, you can be that flower that grows out of the concrete. That's very true, but we shouldn't have to force, like, our kids shouldn't have to worry about some of the stuff they worry about on a daily basis. In school, going to school, like, no, it's up to us. It's like, I'm young enough where I'm going to fight for my daughter to be comfortable in school and make sure she can go to school and worry about learning instead of everything else around that's going on around her. Because we shouldn't have to do this. Not at school, not for our kids.
Yeah.
They deserve so much better.
Absolutely. So, as we're sitting here having this conversation, because Brother Noah always liked to be so solution-based, and I don't know it all. In fact, my motto is, I'm the wisest man in the world because I know one thing. That one thing is I know absolutely nothing. So I always open it up to have this as a general conversation, because that's how society is. It's not just one man who has an education, who read a couple of books, who knows it all. It is the workings of every human being in that area to make it for the better good. So I'll open this conversation up for y'all. What can we do? Not putting off for our councilmen. What can we do as individuals in our household today to help ensure that our children can strive for the future? I'll give you a couple of examples. For my parents out there, it's going to be hard because, one, you probably didn't get it from your parents and you don't have the time or space, but I challenge you to read for the younger children. Read them a book a night. And minus, plus, or added an additive to you reading to them, let them see you read as an extracurricular for yourself. Because that's half the thing. We can always tell our kids what to do. Don't do this. Don't do that. What do we practice what we preach? And the children will do, not for what you say, but for what they see. So, that being said, what can you do for all the viewers out there? And if you have a child, be it that they're in their adolescence, they are a young adult, or they are a toddler, they are young children, what can you do to ensure that their future, that they will be ambitious, that they can survive in this hazardous environment that we have created for them? Now, I want to switch gears a bit because we're getting closer to our segment time for our guest, Sharan Nixon, who is the founder of the Baltimore Fashion Week. Whoa, Baltimore Fashion.
990s.
990s.
True Religions. Burberry. You know.
It's pretty much
Burberry,
like
you know,
the same stuff, right? So, as far as Baltimore fashion, Monty, who do you think sets that staple? Like, Baltimore really don't have any actors that
yeah, we really don't. I mean,
so it's pretty much the rappers.
New
right?
Balance. They set our staple for us. I mean, but yeah, nobody really. We kind of have our own. We do our own thing. So we wear what we like. We don't have anybody that, like, a good person that say, oh, yeah, he represents us. Like, that's Baltimore to the core, nitty gritty. Cause that's what they try to say about Shy Money when they say we have the ugliest accent in the country. That's a lie. I don't know how. I don't even touch that.
Of all songs to pick,
they picked that one to represent Baltimore. No, they dead wrong. They dead wrong for that.
So
somebody could have repped us a little better.
So as far as fashion, when it comes to the hip hop scene, more particularly in the Baltimore hip hop scene, I always have to keep it local.
Yeah.
You have folks like Dapper Dan, and shout out to Dapper Dan for all the adversities that he faced with Gucci. And if you're not down with that story, Google that stuff, because Dapper Dan's story is over the things he had to overcome and the position he's at now. It is truly awe-inspiring. But you see this shift, like you have these folks what is considered hard, and went from like the baggy clothes, the big jeans, because you didn't know if folks had the gun or the strap in there or not, you know. Now it shifts to like folks are wearing more like
the biker jeans,
Gucci, tight things,
and then the gun
printed.
Oh, it's in the man bag.
It's in the
gun
man
in the man bag though.
The gun and the drugs are in the man bag.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see where fashion is going. And I say maybe like what, every 5 to 10 years
we'll get a small shift.
Fashion wave. So where do
Baltimore
you think
don't
fashion's
change
going
much.
now?
I mean, you know,
as far as Baltimore,
everything always repeats itself. Everything. It always repeats itself.
It's like a constant loop cycle.
Yeah.
But do we really want to go back to the days of niggas wearing like the 5XTs?
No, I don't think that bad. I don't think that bad. I think we're over that. It's getting too hot out here. Like
it is getting
global
too hot.
warming. It's getting too hot. We ain't wearing no clothes. It's too big. And but no, where I think we going? We really have our own style. We really love like ripped up jeans and biker jeans. I don't really know. We and cut up shorts that we cut up ourselves.
Right.
You know, that's our thing.
And I've been to, my sister goes to the Baltimore Design School on East Side of, that's on Oliver Street. And
shout out Mahogany.
Shout out Mahogany. Ow. It is just for the young talent there. It is some really good designs that those kids have.
Baltimore has so much talent. That's why I said we have to get our kids out of Baltimore. Because these kids go anywhere else. If you have met anybody when you're on vacation and they're from Baltimore and they're somewhere else, they strive. If we can get out of Baltimore, we do so good, so well. If you can survive Baltimore, you do so well with other places. When I meet people in Miami or whatever from Baltimore, you from Baltimore? Doing like, we strive once we get out of this. We got to get out of this trap. It's really the trap. We call it trap for a reason. We
So unlike the Big Apple, if you make it here, you can make it anywhere.
You can make it right.
I take that. I will take that.
I swear to you.
So, as far as Baltimore fashion, I think that everybody needs to keep a keen eye out. There are a lot of more, in particular, black-owned upcoming stores that are hosting local artists, hosting local fashion designers, and there are some. There's a direct line. I forgot the store. When we come back from our break, I will have it for you. But the Baltimore Design School is able to sell their clothes in this store. But keep a fresh eye on them. Because a lot of us, we always get wrapped up in what's hot, what's new, and what's popular. We're always afraid to set the trend. I say it doesn't matter if it's Gucci or Burberry. If you know if it's
our people are
designer,
we're not benefiting from none of those profits.
Absolutely not.
We are not. Well, Gucci tried because of the whole racist thing, so now they're doing a college fund. But they didn't have one before for black people, but for African Americans. But we need to. The number one consumers. If we did start a brand, like some black brands that we follow and put all our money into and stop buying Adidas and Prada and Gucci and all this stuff, shout out to Nike though, Kaepernick. But if we back ourselves, we could turn number one consumers to the number one. We making profit off these clothes because everyone wants to dress like us. Yeah. So if we stamped ourselves and had something to sell instead of consume, we could actually start growing as a people instead of just my family versus your family.
Right.
That's from good places. Like no, we all grow together.
And to hit that point, us being the major number one consumer in America, and I think the statistic is the black dollar stays within the black community for like 6 hours, comparative to like a Jewish community or white community.
Stays there forever.
That dollar can stay within that household, that family, that community for like a week or so. or like a couple days. I think the longest was like the Chinese or the Jewish that can stay for like 4 to 5 days. But black folk, when we get money, it can stay within our black community for only 6 hours. But that being said, for all these upcoming designers and things, if we wanted to, if every black person in America went to went to Amazon and bought Fubu would be a multi-billion-dollar company in the next 5. So we have the power, but it's all in our perception and the advertisement, the marketing and promo game. It is very strong. It really has grasp on our ideologies, our perceptions, how we see things. Literally, it can be the same quality shirt, but because this brother man made it, it's like, I can't sport this in the club. Right. But if it's got that Gucci symbol, the same quality, got that Gucci symbol, I'm about to spend this $2,000. Probably can't pay my rent, but I'm gonna be hot in the club though. So we are gonna cut it there. Stay tuned, because for our next segment, we have the wonderful Sharan Nixon coming in to talk to us about the Baltimore fashion scene. Stay tuned, because we'll be right back on the Artist Exchange Radio here on BeExposedRadio.com. Thank you.
Use Tearless Baby Shampoo because it's gentle on your baby's eyes. You make sure his toys don't have any sharp edges. You always test the bathwater to make sure it's not too hot. You taught her what to do when the smoke alarm goes off. You make sure she wears a helmet when she rides her bicycle. You put on his sunscreen, even when he's embarrassed his friends will see. You do so much to keep your child safe. But are you using the right car seat for your child? Is your child facing the right way in the car seat? Is the seat too big or too small? How do you know when it's time to move your child into the next type of seat? Car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Protect your child's future at every stage of life. For information on the right seat for your child, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat. That's safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Why is Connor having trouble focusing in school?
Having trouble finding Connor's middle school? Would you like directions?
No, why is Connor having trouble focusing in school?
Finding lowest airfare to Istanbul.
No, I'm tired of fighting with him over homework.
Home walk restaurant. Need a review?
No, I need help. He's very smart, but his mind wanders. He's disorganized.
I think I understand.
Oh, good.
Finding best potatoes for French fries.
No!
Russet. Fingerling. Yukon Gold.
Why don't you understand me?
Sorry, I was trying to show how Connor feels every day. Frustrating, isn't it? Redirecting to understood.org.
For the 1 in 5 kids with learning and attention issues, this is what life can feel like. Explore understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues, designed to help your child thrive in school and in life. Understood.org, because understanding is everything.
Brought to you by understood.org and the Ad Council.
You are tuned in to BeExposedRadio.com.
BeExposedRadio.com. So we were talking about critical thinking. So we definitely believe that critical thinking is one of the first things we need to start implementing, not just simply being told things. Or how about this? You know, we tend to listen to people who get assigned certain positions.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So when they have certain positions, we tend to think that it's truth attached to that because of their position, right?
Right.
Is that always the case, though?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
It's probably one of the biggest reasons we should be doing some critical thinking.
Yes, yes, I agree. I definitely.
Skirt, 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 skirt. Stop, skirt, 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 start, stop. I be up in the way. 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 Running on my face. Gucci guilty on my face. I be up in the way. 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 Bedroom phone ring, girl in t-shirt.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Yes, welcome back to Artist Exchange Radio here on BeExposedRadio.com. I'm your host, Brother Noah. We have your co-host here, Monty, and our wonderful guest who I have been talking about the entire hour, Sharan Nixon, who is the founder of the Baltimore Fashion Week. Sharan, tell us about yourself. And I caught her eating that dirty cake.
You did. My dirty cake. Show up the dirty cake. So let's talk about this dirty cake for a minute. So you all know, I'm just gonna keep it 100. Y'all know me. So for those of you who know me, you know I'm just straight off the cuff. So we see. So we all know about the mouse or rat intrusion at the market, but Burgers has the best cake. I'm sorry. So me and cookies. So me and my one of my hairstylist friends. Last week we went down there. She said, "I want a dirty cupcake." I was like, "What is that?" She said, "The cupcake from Burgers." I'm like, okay. So now I have a slice of dirty lemon cake, and it'll be gone by the end of tonight.
Absolutely.
Okay, and I'm supposed to keep talking.
No. Thank you for that introduction, and thank you for shouting out Lexus the Market, because regardless of that rat, we all knew it was a rat, but we still get there. So, Sharan.
Yes.
We're not going to dive deep into the Baltimore Fashion Week because that's for our next segment.
Okay.
But I want to get the people acclimated to who you are.
Okay.
Your fashion, where you come from.
All that good stuff. Okay. So I was born in California, and I've been here since I was 5. So California and here, right? So here is Baltimore's home, and I love everything about Baltimore. I love fashion, and it's funny because there's a video on one of my Facebook, I think it's my earlier Facebook page, with me when I was 7, and it was, the home videos. Yeah. And it's me walking around with this book, and I got this, it looks so fly in that video. I was like 7, I'm so cute. And ever since then, I guess I liked fashion when I was younger, but I always wanted to be a teacher.
Yeah, okay.
So then being a teacher, then I started modeling because I was a size 4, modeling size back then. And I just started modeling, but I started Baltimore Fashion Week because I didn't like the way things were going.
Wow.
And I was like, why do shows take so long?
Yeah.
I don't understand it. But we'll talk about that next segment. So I am the founder for Baltimore Fashion Week. We're entering year 12. For those of you who know me, and a lot of you do, you know I'm very no nonsense. I'm like 100 all the time. It's not, I thought you said, because that's not true, because I clearly said what I said. And so I'm just very no nonsense. And what I've come to realize is that a few years ago I had to tone all that down because people weren't ready for it. So I love that voice Prada, and I swear to God that I'm Miranda Priest.
Whoa!
Without the shoes!
With the dirty cake too!
Yes! Whoa. Right? Okay, so I've seen it over 2,000 times. And so I probably play it this weekend because I put it on when I need to really focus, that in the September issue. because they keep me grounded and focused on what I'm doing, so I won't be on social media and all of that. But I like what I do. I have 3 sons, 3 fabulous sons. My middle son is in charge of back of house.
Wow.
So he's been here since I yelled over the banister when I worked at a nonprofit that I was doing Fashion Week. He's been here ever since. So he's been here 13 years. Because we started, no, longer than that, 14, because we started, the idea was birthed June 27, 2006. And we had our first casting November 27th, 2007. And we almost got kicked out the library because like 175 models came. I'm like, no, I'm so sorry. I didn't think all these models would come. And the parents were all in it. They took up all the chairs. The regular library people couldn't sit there. Like, oh, I'm so sorry. And here we are.
And shout out to Black entrepreneur moms employing their children.
Yeah, I'm very so. Although Antoine will tell you, he will tell you that, and my mom runs the office during the day. So
the whole family in there.
Yeah.
Wow.
So with my son, it's like I turn into not his mom when it comes to production, and he's not my son.
Yeah.
We're like, okay. So we'll be back. We have to go to break, and then I'll finish about me. And these 2 guys.
And these wonderful, wonderful guests, Sharan Nixon, will be back on
with the dirty cake.
Radio here on BeExposedRadio.com. Get some dirty cake. Woman dirty cake.
Only in the forest can you see this. But nothing beats the moment you see that.
Cool!
That's your child's eyes opening up to a world of possibilities.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go. And you might just see this. Visit discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
The Artist Exchange Radio Show every Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Every Saturday, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Real artist, real talk, real live on BeExposedRadio.com. I was meeting with a friend yesterday, and I've gotten to the point where don't ask me a question because the truth is going to come out. And
exactly.
Just don't do it.
If you ain't looking for the truth, don't come to me.
Don't do it because I can't hold my tongue. And she wants to be this stylist, boutique, but you're not doing anything in that nature, and I can't take you seriously if you're not doing those things. And I understood why people didn't take me seriously because I found myself in somebody else's lane. I was good at what I was doing and what I wanted to be, but I wasn't doing it for me. So how can I ask you to take me seriously if I'm living in somebody else's shoes?
And nobody can do what you do, and I think that that's a big problem that people face now. Like, you see what somebody else is doing and you want to do that when that's not your lane.
That's not your lane.
That's not what you're supposed to be doing.
But it's popular. It's getting that person money. It's getting that person applause. Oh, I want applause. I want money. Let me stand over here behind them.
And then a lot of times people aren't honest with themselves either. Like, I was thinking earlier today, I've been woke for almost 2 days, so so you get honesty, yes. And I was thinking, like,
The Artist Exchange Radio Show.
Long live Pop. Y'all can go ahead and cry now. I'm gonna show these niggas what to do at one of your beats, man. I am Gas, by the way. Strong woman story should have been on CNN. Nobody knows what it's like being Gwen. Windows closed in the house, it ain't no CNN. Can't gain weight for years, she been being thin. Single mother, no help from the system.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
And we have the wonderful guest, Sharan.
I like you! I like you too.
Again, for folks who are just tuning in, Sharan, and I'm sorry, I gotta go back to my script.
That's
Darn
fine.
you, Nate! The founder of the Baltimore Fashion Week, and I don't want to say president, but what is your title?
For Baltimore Fashion Week, I'm just executive producer, founder and executive producer.
Okay.
But for the fashion umbrella,
yes,
I'm the founder and chief volunteer.
So she is the founder and chief volunteer.
Yes.
For the for the Umbrellas Foundation.
Fashion Umbrella Foundation.
Fashion Umbrellas Foundation. Thank you. School me to the game, Miss Sharon. Ow.
Giving away to the kids. Come on,
right.
now. Kids, good grades. Giving out swag bags. For the I'm on to you.
You on to it? Okay, you got some kids?
Yeah, I got some.
Okay, good. Because we are doing, we used to have this program called Back to School Refresh, where we would provide school supplies to schools. And I got irritated because no one would register. No one in Baltimore City would register. Let's put it like that. Right. I would get all these registrants from everywhere else but the city. So I got irritated, and I told my mother I'm not doing it anymore.
Right.
So then one day I was sitting at home, and because I like to buy this stuff too. Because I like journals, so Walmart usually have the really good journals for 97 cents. So that's a good reason for me to buy it.
Yes.
And something said, why don't you forget what people don't do? You started this for a reason. It was nobody but God, but you started this for a reason. So continue. So now I'm selecting the school I want to give the products to. So it returns next February, and we do it after everybody has that big influx of back to school this and come get this back to school. Because I remember when my sons were in school after winter break, they had no supplies. I'm like, yo, I bought you a case of loose leaf paper. Where is it? You don't even have the grades to show me that you used it all. Wow. So where is it? And yes, Antoine, if you're watching, I'm talking about you. So with that being in mind, like, wow, after the winter break, it's just like fend for yourself.
Yeah.
So that's why ours is called Refresh, and we do it in February. So I've already started purchasing supplies. I've selected a school this year. The very first school was in PG County, and we gave them all. This is when was I in this building? I think I was in this building. I used to have an office in here. And they came and picked up, matter of fact, no, it was in the building up the street. She came and picked up all the supplies. And this year we're starting early because I just got the email from Walmart that their school supply sale has started. So I'll probably go out there while I'm off next week and buy up.
Wow.
Like I buy cases. I don't like the spiral notebooks because for me they get caught on my clothes, so I can only imagine what they're doing to a 7-year-old. So that won't happen. So I get composition books, pencils, pens, rulers, crayons, glue. If they, depending on the grade of the school, I might buy gel pens, but that's my fave too. So sometimes all that doesn't make the giveaway. But, and I buy stuff for the teachers, so I'll buy journals for the teachers, and I'll have a separate box just for the teacher. My goal one day is to hopefully have like Apple. I did contact Apple, and I did contact HP, but at the time the program wasn't big enough for them. Or it could be that, or I just didn't use the right words. Because being a nonprofit, it's all about wordings.
Yeah, of course, yes.
And so I do plan on reaching out to them in 2020 for 2021.
Very nice. Very good.
Yeah. So, because can you donate us 10 tablets?
Yeah.
Just 10?
Right.
I don't want you to give one to everybody in the class, but can I just have 10?
Yes.
And then maybe we could start a computer lab, maybe one in a classroom, a little minor computer lab, and
That's beautiful. We were just talking about
if I just had one A for Oprah's money, can you imagine? And my crazy ass, excuse me, my crazy behind would probably still work. Yeah. I'd probably still get up and go to work because I like my job.
Yeah. So Sharon, before we move on to really getting into the fashion week, I want to, and I'm going to ask you this like
That's fine.
One time.
That's fine.
About the promo. Can you please give the folks your Twitter, your Instagram, your Facebook information?
Yes. So Twitter is at Baltimore Baltimore FASHWK. So it's Baltimore Fashion Week.
Okay.
Instagram is Baltimore Fashion Week, and Facebook is Baltimore Fashion Week. It's all spelled out.
Wonderful. And speaking of Baltimore Fashion Week, Sharon, that is coming up next Monday, right?
Yes! We're so ready. I'm so excited.
I guess just give us just the overview, and then we'll hit each day, because each day has its own theme.
Yes. So there's something happening every day of next week except for Wednesday. And luckily, it's funny how God works, because I had something on that date and then I removed it. And then I just found out a few days ago that one of my best and favorite friends in the whole wide world, was like a brother to me. And sometimes the way he acted, he was like a son. But he passed away Sunday. So his funeral is Wednesday.
Wow.
So I'll be at his funeral and on Wednesday. So Jay DeVries, I'll be there. I know we talked, but I'll be there. So yeah. So other than that, it's a whole week of events. Before we reached our free goal or complimentary goal to give away tickets. Now for the movie theater and the meet and greet is just $5, and that's a donation to the nonprofit. You come to the movie theater, they have happy hour there. If you want to see a movie, fine. If not, fine. I am gonna, and if they're watching, they're hearing this for the first time because I talked to Nate already, but I do want to start some type of acting arts program, and I want to house it at their theater. Their theater is awesome. I love Parkway. I love them, and they know it because I've told them. And so the whole thing with the movie was that we were going to pick a movie and that everybody could come and watch it. So if you paid attention, or if you followed me early on with the planning, it had a price attached to it. But I'm all about, I don't want to charge my guests too much money. They got to pay for parking.
Right.
And so I called them and said, let's scrap it. We're not going to do it. They was like, no, well, let us think about it. We'll call you back. And so they came up with the idea of the happy hour, because because to get in there, it's $11 for a ticket. And I think I was charging $20 for to get in. And if you bought a certain ticket level, you get a free drink. But then the cost of renting out the movie theater and the cost of paying for the license for the movie was just more than the budget. And I was like, I need to step back and rethink this. And sometimes I know quite a few people in Baltimore are afraid to do that. I'm not. It is what it is, and unless you want to write me a check for the total amount, I think you just going to have to live with this. Because at the end, I pay for everything out of pocket. We get sponsorship dollars, but they're not at the amount that we truly need. And so this isn't an option for failure. And so I make shit happen.
Yeah, right.
As I should. So Tuesday is our Lunch With series, which is new. And we're already working on, I found out today, because I'm also managing editor for a publication in Boston. So I found out today who they're targeting for next year. I'm like, yes! Please say yes. Tell them to say yes. And so if they say yes, it'll be so awesome. I'm like, oh my God. And then that's Tuesday. Tuesday will always be a Lunch With. Moving forward, it'll always be 7 days.
Wow, okay.
So Monday will always be Monday Night the Movies. Tuesday will always be the Lunch With series. Next year on Wednesday, I'm thinking about adding an educational component because I keep getting a lot of phone calls about it.
Yes.
So Thursday will always be the industry party. Friday will always be a meet and greet in the city. And then Saturday and Sunday will always be the runway shows, unless we get that many great designers that we can expand it to Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yeah.
And I'm good with it being 7 straight days, but I just need 7 straight days worth of quality designers.
Absolutely. So, thank you so much for filling us in for the fashion week. For the fashion week, I'm looking at this now. This all seems exciting, and I need to plug this into my schedule. But I'm coming.
Yay! And we don't sell tickets at the doors. You can get them online all the way up until 6 o'clock the day of the event.
And we can get it on the Baltimore-fashionweek.com.
Yep.
.com.
Yep.
So
Fashion Week.
www.baltimore-fashionweek.com. Get your tickets. Don't be
Support
late.
Baltimore. Baltimore support Baltimore.
Yes. And please don't meet her there. Meet her there.
Yes.
Sharon, have
Yes.
you been to the Baltimore Design School?
Yes.
Yeah?
I sat on the original board or committee when it was just a thought.
Yeah.
With Fred Lazarus, Catherine Pugh. They invited the coordinator from the Dash School in Florida because they have the same type of platform. And so I'm glad to say, tomorrow I'm doing an interview with the Maryland Historical Society. So the PR firm, it's funny how people know people. So the PR firm who's working with me with this live interview tomorrow, she knows the coordinator at Baltimore Design School. And I've been trying to We had supplies for them. Nobody returned our call. See, this is an ongoing story that I deal with here in Baltimore. And I'm not afraid to talk about it, and I really don't care what people say. But we reach out, and it's either, I don't know what it is. I can't even say what people think, and I really don't care. Because as long as there is earth, and there are people, whether they're in Baltimore or Afghanistan, if they're interested and we can help them, we're going to help them. This isn't a Baltimore thing. It just has Baltimore Fashion Week on it, but what we do with the Fashion Umbrella is a universal thing.
Absolutely.
So with that being said, she reached out, she had a connect at the Baltimore School Design, so I'm giving those students 5 tickets plus the chaperone. So she said, oh, okay, is that 5 tickets including the chaperone? I was like, no, who does that? I know they do that here in Baltimore. I said, it's 5 tickets plus the chaperone. I said, because nobody likes to party alone, I'm going to give her a ticket for her friend, whoever she wants to bring with her. Because you're sitting with kids, you need somebody to talk to. Like, come on. Like, oh my God, you see her shoes? You know how y'all do. You know how we do. I'm sorry, I do the same thing. That's why I don't sit front row. I always sit second row. And so, right, ask Nate. He'll tell you I will not sit front row. I just won't do it. And so, damn, what was the question?
The question was you were about the Baltimore Design School.
Oh, right, Design School. So they'll be, I don't know which day. Hopefully they'll tell me about Monday. Or maybe we can get an answer. Well, Monday is good. Well,
the day, right?
Well, no. They're coming to one of the either Saturday or Sunday show.
The runway show.
Yeah, the runway show. So I wish I could afford to at least have, wait a minute, hold on. I have 1 ticket for the Jenna luncheon, Jenna in the City, the lunch series, but we dubbed it as Jenna in the City. And so I'll be giving that away because somebody purchased 2 tickets and we are donating them. So I'll probably run a raffle through Rafflecopter this weekend so they can win 1 ticket. But the problem with that, so you give away a ticket and then people don't show up.
Yeah, true.
I don't have time for this. What? I'm not, and see, that's my hesitation with this. Like, we get really good gifts. I got to go to Smythe Jewelers and pick up. I mean, last year they gave us a necklace and then a $100 gift card, and somebody won it, and then they called me back because they didn't use it enough time. So I was like, okay, so I called Smythe, can you extend it? And they said yes, and so they got an extension. But we get really good stuff.
Wow.
I mean, it's not, my mother knows. Like, don't be asking nobody for no pamphlets because it's Fashion Week and don't nobody want to read.
Right.
They need tangible stuff. They want like stuff they can hold and stuff they can fit. Nobody wants to read. Like, Ma, stop. Like, that was an argument that I was not going to give up. I said, if you don't want to tell them, no, I'll tell them. I'll send them a message. Right. But this was not something this is something that it took time for me to understand. So, because I go to New York Fashion Week, they don't play up there. I love New York. Have you ever been? I mean, a real show.
Not the Fashion Week, but I've been to.
Okay, so if you go to New York, make sure you go to a real. When I say real show, I'm talking like a high-end designer like Dolce & Gabbana, Ellie Saab, who I love. Oh my God.
Not underground.
Right. Underground is cool. It's cute, but for your first time experience, you have got to go to one of the real shows. But the problem with that is you have to be invited. You can't purchase a ticket.
Okay.
And so hopefully, I was on the phone talking to somebody today about next year. I'm like, I want the whole building. Find out how much it is for the whole building. We need to lock it in for the next 3 years for New York.
Right.
There's a building up there. A lot of people, I don't know if they know about it, but it was untapped last year. And I plan on locking it down for next year.
I like that vision, and I'm gonna put some positive vibes on that. Really. So, Sharan, this is some all great.
Oh, thank you.
You are an amazing person.
Thank you.
Very ambitious as a Black entrepreneur woman would be. This is amazing. It's an honor to meet you. Really.
Well, thank you. I mean, I work hard, and I just wish people would kind of sort of understand that, but they don't. I mean, because I'm not anybody's clique. Like, people don't know me. I'm an introvert. But I'm comfortable with this because I go live all the time on Facebook. So this is like going live to me. But if you were to, like if this was a TV station or something, I'd probably be a little nervous. And a long time ago, I used to worry about what people say. Now I don't care. I'm 12 years in. What you gonna say? After we made it to year 10, like what? What? You can't. There's no stopping us. It's not. I got bills. So to be able to continue to do Fashion Week this long, I'm talking $42 for what do you call it? Insurance for a month just to have, and all the months we don't have an event. So I still pay for this insurance every month. Because what I'm not going to do is what happened to me years ago, is pay $365 for a one-day event. That doesn't make sense to me. Because hotels, you need to have it. The liability insurance, you need to have it. And I have renter's insurance for my office. So if you want to come here and break it up. I'm just going to get some new stuff.
So Sharan, if any, do you have any, minus the giving the kids the swag bags, do you have any outreach to any youth in the city, probably from Baltimore Design or BSA, to get them any jobs or produce any of their works from fashion?
Well, I have a few colleagues in New York that are very helpful. And then we have a program where I did it with Reginald F. Lewis, the high school, where I went there and we did mock interviews. Because youth nowadays don't speak well, and that can stop you from getting into it. And I was very straightforward and blunt with them when I went to the school. I didn't critique the way they dressed. I said, because all y'all might not be able to afford clothes for an interview. So if that's your situation, then you need to make the best of what you have. So we have that'll be, because the school keeps calling me. So I'm going back this year, when school opens. Then we have the educational honors, where we recognize students who have a 2.5 GPA. They held it for a year. They get invited to a reception. And no, we do not make them pay for a ticket. We give them a ticket plus the guest. They get an award and a citation from the city. And then we have a scholarship award where you can get up to, $200 per person who registers for college. But you have to be a sophomore or freshman, because those are two grade levels where students drop out. They have the highest dropout rate. So if I know $200 might not seem like a lot, but I know when I went to college, I stopped. Well, I stopped for two reasons. One, because One, because the professor told me I could teach the class, and two, I had to make a choice between, because at that time I had two sons, between buying my sons a coat and a textbook. And I'm like buying my son a coat, and I don't want any student that's young and having children to have to, or have a child or have children to have to worry about that, so to speak. At least the $200 was like, you know what? I know I'm getting this $200 in November, so, I can do this, and this until this money comes in.
Well, on that note, we want to take a break. Please stay tuned, and we'll be right back on the Artist Exchange Radio here on BeExposedRadio.com.
Boom.
Hi, I'm LeVar Burton, and I'm proud to be a book person. How do I choose a book? Sometimes it's the cover, sometimes it's the title. I guess I'm pretty visual. If a book's really impressing me and the writing is really good, I will peek and see what the last paragraph is, because the endings of books should rock you. I am a book person, and if you're a book person too, read to a child and spark a lifetime of ambition. Join me at bookpeopleunite.org, because reading is fundamental. A public service announcement brought to you by Reading is Fundamental, Library of Congress, and the Ad Council.
Just a Bit Outside radio show.
There is one glaring stat that I read about while watching the games over the weekend. New York Yankees went 22 straight innings with at least one strikeout.
Really?
That's a major league record for the postseason.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's an interesting statistic.
It is, and then when you think about it, it's like, okay, that, to me, that's like a big reason why, they're losing right now.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Welcome back to the Artist Exchange Radio here on BeExposedRadio.com. I am your host, Brother Noah, your co-host here, the fabulous Monty, and my goodness, the magnetic, the beautiful.
Oh, you're so, I love you!
She is schooling me to the game of fashion. She is an amazing entrepreneur. She employs her family. Let me just start there.
Well, they volunteer. I don't pay for them.
Oh, okay. Well,
I don't pay for their services.
Basically, all her business, it is a family affair.
Yeah.
Regardless if it's volunteer or paid, I find it to be beautiful that you have your family involved. Now, Sharan, we asked you about Fashion Week. We asked you about the children. Tell us about the day-to-day, the inner scopes of being a fashion worker, of being
you asked
in the world
anyway,
of fashion.
You asked anyway, trying to start some trouble, huh?
No, I mean, it's...
Minus the models.
Yeah. Anyway. It's interesting. It took to year 10 for me to realize, and a lot of people get on me. They say, oh my God, you don't even know what you have, and blah, blah, blah. And one prayer that I had when I started was that I will always remain to be me. Like, no matter how many zeros, hopefully have numbers in front of them, but how many commas are in the bank account, that I'm always Sharan. Yeah. Like, I don't want to be one of those type people where when they reach a certain level, they forget, because I know quite a few that think they've reached a certain level and they just completely forgot. But ma'am, I need you to have several seats.
Gotta bring it back down a little bit.
Right, so it's just like, yo. Well, damn, I keep forgetting the question.
Oh my goodness. The question was, beautiful Sharan. Tell us about the inner works.
Oh yeah, the inner works. So it's hard because I spend my lunchtime
working.
Yeah, answering emails. I'm sneaking, and if y'all look, I'm listening. Y'all know y'all. I'm sneaking at work. Answering emails on my phone. That's why I have an Apple, because it's very reliable when it comes to that. Just sneaking and taking phone call. Can you call me in 2 minutes, or let me walk out away from my desk? And it's a 24-hour thing, and then I work 8 hours or 7.5 hours, whatever they call it. Full-time job. Then I come home and I work at sometimes my office is right. So my office is right down the street, which I never go to because it's equipped and everything. But I get so much done at home, and plus I just moved now. I love my apartment, and so it's a lot of work. If people think that I'm just sitting here twiddling my thumbs, you know, you got people, I got contracts to review, I'm scheduling classes, I'm starting a university, an online university, the 1st of November. So that's a job within itself that I didn't even think would be that busy. It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Then trying to manage, you know, to pay bills. You got internet and phone here. You got phone, internet at home, and like, okay, so is there any way I can get an extension for this? Right. Can I get it? Because I can't have, and I've called my office, the phone was off. I'm like, oh, my stomach just immediately started hurting. And so it's like, you got to figure all it out. And you know, then the tax documentations that need to be filed at the end of the year. So every year I get an extension. I'm like, yo, I cannot deal with that. About to walk into Fashion Week like this. So I get an extension. That's due November 15th. So all of that, and I do my own taxes. So all of that needs to be considered. It needs to be managed. This year I decided in February I wanted to do some rebranding, and that just threw everything off schedule. Which is why the deadline for designers was extended, and I was like, no more will I be thrown off the schedule because I'm trying to accommodate somebody else. Then everything will be up on the site for 2020 January 1st. Yeah. Every date, every date will be on the site, including all of the castings. The only one model call that we're having next year, all of that you can register in advance come January 1st. Yeah. because it's just like I don't understand why. Well, I don't understand why people are last minute, and I'm sick and tired of hearing it's Baltimore. We need to change. I'm from Baltimore. I'm not last minute. I'm nowhere near last minute. And it's just anybody who knows you will know that there's Sharan and then there's the Dragon. That's what they call me, and I wear that name very well. Yeah. Because I don't. If you want to play, go somewhere else.
And Sharan, I as a business owner here in Baltimore, I want you to really express out the importance of organization, the importance of being the Dragon when it comes to owning a business or just owning or being a part of the head of the organization, because that is the stigma in Baltimore. Everybody just rolls and all that. Oh, I was unprofessional, I was disorganized, I don't have this, I'm not on my stuff because it's in the Baltimore.
No, business is not for everybody. That's the bottom line. And you have to learn how to say no.
Yeah.
I didn't always, when I wanted people to accept me. It's like, oh, okay, so this is all you can give us. You know, this is the best price you have. And I would accept it and pay it. I'm not doing that no more. Yeah. We're 6 years as a nonprofit, 12 years for Baltimore Fashion Week, 3 years for the designer debut at New York Fashion Week. I'm not settling. Either we can meet in the middle of the table, I'm just gonna have to go to somebody else. But when you start doing that, that's when you set yourself away from everybody else and people start looking at you differently. When the very first sponsor I called in 2007 laughed in the phone and said that there's no way I could do a fashion week because I was black and I was from Baltimore. And he asked me, he said, is your event going to be in a nightclub? And I said, no, sir. We don't even do anything in the nightclub. We had one event at the Hippo, and that was Gay Life magazine. When they went operation, they kind of sort of sponsored it. They put the word out. It was sold out. I mean, it was a nice crowd. That was the only time we were in a nightclub, and I didn't consider the Hippo to be a nightclub for me. It just didn't consider to be, I didn't consider it to be that, so my answer is still no. We've never had anything in a nightclub. But people just need to understand that you can't play with this. So they're entrepreneurs and they're business people, business owners. I'm a business owner. I've passed my entrepreneur stage. I'm paying bills, insurance. When I start signing my name on a check, then it'll be unemployment insurance. I'm past entrepreneurship.
And we're going to stop there.
And go into a break.
Differences when we come back.
Yeah, we need to hit that.
Please stay tuned here on the Artist Exchange Radio, here at BeExposedRadio.com. And stay tuned for the lovely Sharan.
You're so cute.
Thank
Makia!
Like the one thing you always gotta remember is people gonna try to project their insecurities onto you. But you can't listen to what them niggas saying. You gotta get out here and do your shit regardless. You gonna do what you love for the rest of your life anyway. So why not turn that shit into something? Be a man of everything you say. This shit bigger than me, man. Like yeah, I'm good and all that, but you know what I mean? I ain't shit without y'all. So no matter what you up to, just go hard. Don't matter. Can you imagine how I really having nothing is? Stomach growling, you ain't got no food in the fridge. Surviving on a jail diet of water and bread. No father figure, that's cause my father did. Mom's bringing different niggas in and out the crib. No money, so you seen it's less than all your friends. But it a joke because your mother was a crackhead. Older sister hoeing off, giving all the homies head. I could wait for your response, but they let her hear me talk, so I'll just wait for the applause. I always knew that I was great, I got them haters so appalled. I'ma make it out the darkness, and my word is my bond. Delivering these bars while I'm gripping on my balls. Jealous niggas hate to see you succeed, so fuck them all. I'm the master of my destiny, nigga, you not in charge.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Welcome back to the Art Exchange Radio here at BeAxposedRadio.com. I'm the host, Brother Noah. We have the amazing co-host, Monty. And I'm running out of adjectives for this lady. She's just amazing.
Just say Sharan.
She is beautiful. Sharan Nixon. Sharan, before we went to the break, you were telling us the differences between an entrepreneur and business, and a business owner, and pretty much how folks here in Baltimore need to get on their shit.
Well, not just here. It's it's a universal thing from what I've experienced just in my travels, and they haven't been that long, but they've been travels. A lot of people just don't, it's like they want a handout. And like they get a lot of designers, and so we get t-shirt designers. I'm all for t-shirts, but if you're going to present them on my runway, you have to present a certain way. You have to have a complete look. So if you do so like your t-shirts, so you can wear this t-shirt. If he's doing a winter, say he's doing a winter collection, so I will put this t-shirt on the model with a pair of jeans, some heels, a blazer, and a scarf in the bag. The purpose is to buy the entire look. So if someone comes to you, say, you know what, I like look number 3. How can I get that, and how much is it? Now it's his job to come up with a price and find it. Now, people, when they come to you, serious Fashion Week goers know that there might be a lag in receiving the merchandise because one, the designer might not have it all in inventory because the items that are shown on the runway should be sample pieces. And so that means it needs to go in production, it needs to be made, which is what is in, oh my God, they're my partners. I can't remember their name right now. Anyway, what is the name of the company on Project Runway that promoted Bishme's blazer? All the designers, you can go to their site, and oh my God, I see the logo. I'm asking the wrong person.
Nothing about fashion.
Oh my God.
You are the fashion guru.
And we're partners, and I cannot, for the love of God, I can't remember the name. Anyway, so people like that you go to them, and like we have a partner. I'm sorry, I gotta find a name.
Of course.
But I'm gonna keep talking. We are talking by your office. Okay, that's my son. So, no, I need to focus because my mind is going to million and one. I'm gonna stop and just focus. So they just like for designers to do T-shirts. I think I intimidate them because I turned away 23 designers this year, and 8 of them were menswear. And it's like when you ask them a question, I want you to open your mind. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with it. That's your vision. If that's what you want to do, then fine. But I'm just going to tell you how to get you some money. But they don't want to. It's like, oh, who she thinks she is? Because I heard it from somebody came back and told me, oh, she thinks she all this and that because she do. I'll do my own fashion. What do you think? Go ahead and do it. Yeah. Go ahead and do it. And I'll wait for you to last maybe 2 years. And I'm not saying that because we've been here for 12, but by the time you see the bill for the lights, my lights alone cost me $3,000. And this year we're doing something different, and I haven't even seen an invoice for that. I was like, look, this year, can you keep it at the regular price that I paid last year, please? Please.
That sound like the West Side folks ain't pay that bill. $3,000 for BG&E? Good goodness. I know some of us can't relate.
Oh, I know I can. So, you just have to, if for designers, if they want to be in this business first, I need you to have a website. Yeah. I need you. IG is cool, but when you're going after investors, you're going after people that you want to give you money, you need to have a website, you need to have a media or press kit. People need to see what you've done. If it's nothing, then still have something available. And part of what I do at the Fashion Umbrella Foundation, I help our members who want the help. Because I'm very critical and straightforward. I don't care about your tears. Like I've worked with people, they just sit there and start crying. I was like, yo, I need you here's a tissue, and I need you to wipe that up because you can't do that here. If this is what you want to do, you cannot do that here. I'm just nobody compared to the people that are out there on the street that are waiting to devour you. And that's what some businesses look for, you to be weak because they know they can attack, and you'll do whatever they ask to get what you want. So you just have to be mindful of that, and just if you're going to be a business, then you need to do the right things. You need to go downtown and register for your
LLC.
Yeah, your LLC. That's $300 a year. And so being a nonprofit, praise God, I don't have to pay that fee because I'm a nonprofit.
You have a 501c.
Yeah, I have a 501c3, which is another $400 you have to pay to the IRS to see if you get it.
Right.
And you don't get that money back. But at least they tell you if you need what you need to do.
So Sharon, I always try to be solution based in this, and I come from theater background. I produce, directed theater, acted, traveled to London, all that stuff. Shout out to Josh Jones because he's watching. I acted with him in England. It's just a lack of knowledge out here. Folks have creativity, they have the drive, or they think they have the creativity. Maybe they have a couple of homeboys that supported them, and that's what pushed them to want to move into fashion or make that shirt. So maybe you and I even has this segment to sit down and talk. Maybe we can offer a workshop for these folks, kind of reach back to the community. This is what you need. If you really want to be about this fashion life, before you even step in my office or anybody's office, here are the guidelines that you need before you step out your studio.
We don't have it. Not the youth. We don't have it. So they are just learning as they go.
Yeah, and that can be a problem. Today alone, I got 6 emails from buyers. 6 emails. So each designer that registers for Fashion Week, either Baltimore or New York, they all get a one-on-one with me. Yeah. It's either in person or virtual. And I go through their collection. I want to see seams. I want to see what you do with your line sheets. You gotta have line sheets. It is important that you have line sheets, and a lot of designers don't know that. So I called Brand Boom, brandboom.com. I talked to them one day when I was at lunch, and I talked to them, and I'm trying to get them to come down on their monthly fee for designers that I recommend. You create a special code for the Fashion Umbrella Foundation. They use that code, they get $50. So I got a call in 2 weeks with the VP in charge of marketing. So with Brand Boom, which is because I said, you know what, let me do the footwork and figure out what the designers need, but I can't give it to them if I don't understand it. Because I sew, but I just don't feel like it. And so when I call Brand Boom, they have over 250 buyers sitting there waiting for new stuff. They have a free platform. With the free platform, you get up to 3. You get to see up to 3 messages, and the messages involve or include the interest or sales interest from a buyer. Now, when you pay the $70 a month, you get to see all the buyers. So if you say you put your collection online through Brand Boom and you do your line sheets, and then one thing I learned was that the line sheets changed from the last time I looked at them. You don't need arm measurements and neck measurement. You don't need all of that now. You just put the clothes up there and how much it costs. And so what he told me was that once you put it up there, you put your line sheets up. If you pay the money, you get access to over 250. But if you get the free one, you get the up to 3 buyers. And the way the buyers do it, they go on your site and they look at your collection, and then they send you a message. I would like to have XYZ of I'm sorry, that the name of that organization that I cannot remember is killing me. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I'm trying to remember the name.
When she gets the names back, I will send it out for y'all, and so y'all can have a conversation.
So if you're a designer, even for you, go register for Brand Boom. It's free. Get a feel for the site. They even have a video that you can follow and get your clothes out there, because you can also say when you're meeting somebody, you know, why don't you check out my online collection? You can use that as your website. Right. Why don't you check out my online collection, and you can let me know what you think. And so if you're not ready to do a full-fledged website, use that for free.
For free, yeah.
Put it on your, create a bit.ly, go there, not, what is it, Linktree or what, not Linktree, it's another one.
Weebly?
No, where it's a site that condenses links. Well, I use bit.ly, and so people don't like to type and read. So you can go to bit.ly and create a special link where people just type in maybe those 8 characters and go to your page, because one thing you don't want to do is let people know sometimes that it's a free site. because when they look at you differently, like, oh, he can't even afford a free site.
Yeah, or you scam.
Right.
So we'll never see the
And they
product.
think you're not legit because you're not paying that monthly fee. When you do pay the monthly fee, make sure you take off their branding.
Okay.
Because that's key. Like, nobody needs to know where you're working. So I'm all down for helping, whatever I can do. I'm there. I can get the space because I'm a nonprofit practically for free. I am doing a class in October the 19th on sponsorships.
Okay.
So that's 6 hours because it's very, very intense. Like, they have to present to me and I rip it up.
So I'm gonna put in my front work because I try to be a community activist in this city. Have been for the last 8 years and such. Got my ass beat out in the streets by the police on the Freddie Gray riots. So I'm gonna talk with the lovely Sharan here. We're gonna set this up. I'm gonna do my work, but y'all have to show up because there are not just me. There are a lot of folks in this city who are giving these classes. You're not going. You're going to people's office and you're getting shitted on. So,
But if they're not going, then why do you think they'll come to this one?
I just want to have it out there
Oh,
because
okay.
they're not going. But at least if one
Yeah.
person goes,
Yeah, I don't care if one person comes. It's going to be awesome.
that's it. But there's a pocket of entrepreneurs, fake entrepreneurs. Can't even get the word out. I tried to spin it. Fake folk here who just like the title of I'm an entrepreneur. Like just the title.
I think everybody likes their title. It makes them seem. I don't know. They just like to throw it around. I'm like, ugh, here we
It's
go.
a feel good. And capitalist America, it's a status.
Should I not roll my eyes like that? I should. I'm very touchy feely. I'm sorry. So if you're
okay,
his
you're fine.
girl, please know that. Okay.
So earlier in the segment, I was talking to my wonderful co-host Monty here, and I asked him the question, like, you know, we were talking about just how fashion has changed, just particularly when it comes to the rap scene and how this urban culture is now becoming a worldwide business. Like urban culture makes money.
Urban culture, yeah.
Urban culture.
Not everyone's urban culture.
And its style has changed. I mean, we talking about how like we used to wear like the 5X tees and everything is tight. Like it moved from the Adidas to Nike. Now you have the Migos pushing the Louis Vuitton, the Gucci, the Burberry. So like, you who is in Twix in the fashion world, where do you think, in general, maybe like the East Coast, in particular, Baltimore fashion scene is going?
It's hard to say because fashion is like what we're doing now. And it'll go away, and then it'll come back.
Is it full circle?
I have clothes in my closet that I refuse to throw away because it's gonna come back. I'm not getting rid of it. I'm not getting rid of it. I'm just gonna lose weight to fit in it, or I'm not gaining weight anymore. Who is that? Monty! But Monty makes me sick. I love him though. What was the question?
Where's fashion going?
Oh yeah. So thank you. Monty threw me all off. So I think that everybody should do what they want to do, because following those trends can be expensive. I don't have a trend. I wear what I want. As long as I look in the mirror, it's like, girl, you fine. So I'm walking out the door because I know it's like, you know what, I'm good. And so that's one thing I've always said. Like when Ron Matz used to interview me, he always used to say, Sharon, how do I look? It's like, Ron, did you look in the mirror before you left the house? He would say yes. It's like, so what did you say? And he said, I fixed my tie. I was like, so that meant you approved, right? He said, yes. Like, you're good. I mean, I don't want to ever be considered or construed or put in a mix of people who are telling other people what to wear. But what I will say, ladies, if y'all don't stop wearing those bedroom clothes outside, I'm gonna need y'all to stop. I'm gonna need y'all to stop.
That's not the new wave now?
No, never has it been that. Women are lazy. Some women, let me correct if I get a lot of inbox messages, some women are lazy. And they just think that it's not cool to come outside in those really thin lounging pants and a shirt, because we know you ain't washed. I'm telling you, you did not wash. I'm not wearing my lounging. It's lounging because it's for in the house.
That smell like dirty cake.
Don't talk about my dirty cake. Leave. This is my dirty cake. I don't know if they smell like dirty cake, but I'm just saying they just need to stop. And then they wonder why men treat them the way they do or talk about them the way they do, why they can't get a good man. Look at you.
Johnny.
I mean, you look in the
Look at
mirror?
position.
A body con is not made for everybody. So he's saying, babe, you look cute, but he got a dime over here.
Wow.
I mean, just keeping it 100.
So I'm going to ask you at least 3 more times before we leave. Can you please give these wonderful folks your Twitter, Instagram, Facebook?
Twitter is Baltimore Fash, F-A-S-H Week. Facebook is Baltimore Fashion Week, and IG is Baltimore Fashion Week.
Thank you so much.
I try to keep it simple.
Try to keep it simple. I mean, easy.
That was part of the rebranding in February.
Gotcha.
Because I ain't going to tell you what it was before then.
Thank you, Juan. So, quick question. And this is scoping out of the fashion, but I want to get your take on it as a Baltimorean. What do you think about the comments that President Trump has said about Baltimore? Rat-infested, leadership failing, and keep it under 30 seconds, and then we're going to pick it back.
Well, I heard snippets of it, and he said what he felt, but he said what he felt. That's all I'm going to say right now.
The Cheeto said what he felt, and that being said,
I mean, people, I'm not saying it was right. There are no refunds, okay? I'm not saying that he was right. I'm saying because I was sick when everything went down, and so I didn't catch it until like 3 days later. Yeah. And so I saw it, and I listened to everybody's comment, and then I just, like, it's Trump. It's Trump. Like, why are we feeding? That's what he wants. He wants an audience.
Yeah. Well, that being said, Sharon, we're going to pick this back up after our break. Please stay tuned. We have an amazing show. We have Monty, we have Sharon. I'm your host, Brother Noah. Stay tuned. Arts Exchange Radio here on BeExposedRadio.com.
Be exposed. Boom.
You like to say it, don't you?
Boom. Boom. Boom.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Green light. Hey girl, school zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection clear. Yeah, street. Pizza sounds good. Ballin Street? Girlin Street!
It's hard to concentrate on 2 things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at StopTextStopWrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Join the Just a Bit Outside crew every Monday, 8 to 10 p.m. on BeExposedRadio.com.
You want to start off?
I think I'll get it out of the way on a who's not.
Okay, do it.
The Orioles.
Right.
They got swept by the Royals. They lost 4 in a row, and the last 5 games have all been decided by 1 run.
Mm-hmm.
The game before, or the last game that they lost before the Royals was the Nationals, and it was Weeders, of course, won with a home run.
Hit the home run.
Right. They were going into that national series. It seemed like they were doing so well, and they just crapped out. They got that game postponed, so who knows when they're going to replay that or play that game.
Mm-hmm.
That's my first not for the night.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and weigh in on my who's not, and I'm going to talk about the San Diego Padres.
The Padres. That's okay. You just took my answer.
They're in last place in the NL West. They've lost 8 of their last 10. Their run differential is a negative 65, which is just horrible. So when you have, let me just talk about run differential a little bit. It's kind of like the
how much you're winning or losing your games by, pretty much.
Yeah. Okay? It's like the margin of victory, kind of.
Right.
So when you're in a negative number, that means that...
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Cheeto's comments. You know,
what is that? Oh, the president. Okay.
the president of the United, President Cheeto.
Okay.
You know, I feel like if I say his name, they gonna tag him in. And So Cheeto man, his comments about Baltimore, the ones he said, I guess, a couple of days ago, and most recently, because he's been talking about Baltimore all week. Baltimore has been the hot topic on CNN, MSNBC, rappers, creatives, all folks from around the world are putting their 2 cents into Baltimore. But I played the opposition earlier. It's a hard pill to swallow because it came from the president, and he has, nobody really likes him. He has a very low approval rating. But what he says has some truth to it. Our leadership has failed us in many senses. Depending on how you look at it, we have failed ourselves for the fact that we are not independent enough that we are still
I found it.
You got it?
Yeah.
What is it?
17th Amendment. I'm sorry.
All right, now fill us in.
Okay, so 17th Amendment is a platform where if you're a designer, you have to interview with me, then become a member of the foundation, which is $50 a year, and then I introduce you to 17th Amendment, and they help you manufacture your garments. And the registration is much cheaper. It's not $99 a month; it's $20.
So 17th Amendment, is that the website?
Yeah, but you have to spell it out. Okay. 17th Amendment. So I remember when they started about 5 years ago, and one of the co-owners called me. I was like, what? After I picked myself up off the floor, so she called me, and here we are.
Wow. So 17thamendment.com.
Yep, .com.
And you spell it out. And for all of my young fashion folks here, or people who are in fashion, but you feel like you can't get over that hump, please use these resources. Go over the interview of everything that Ms. Sharan has been talking about. Her and I will meet up and try to get this masterclass going so we can help you guys out. Because I don't want you to go in her office and she hit you with the dragon face. I don't want that. I want her to hit you with the smiling face because you have everything laid out and everything is beautiful. That's what I want for y'all. So 17th Amendment.
That's what I want.
Spell it out, and that's what she wants. She don't want to be the dragon lady, but y'all making her the dragon lady.
I just want everybody to be. It's enough out here for everybody. I just want everybody to be successful. But as you walk your road down success, just walk it right.
Yeah.
Just don't. If this is what you want to do, you can't half ask it. You have to go for it. And whatever that means, that's going to mean you're going to run into some hurdles. You're going to run into some financial woes. You're going to lose a lot of friends because they're not going to understand why you're doing it, or they're jealous because you're doing it. So one of the two, which brings me into talking about friends versus clients.
Okay.
So my Fashion Week, when it started, was supposed to be only by invite only. And so I'm doing some things now that we may be there in 3 years for Baltimore. And New York wouldn't be a problem, but for Baltimore, because designers should be able to invite their clients, and the clients come in and they watch the show and they leave.
Yeah.
They can't, because a lot of them don't have clients like that. It's a paid event.
So we are going to take a quick commercial break, and we're going to be back with our final statements, my final thoughts. Thank you. You guys have been amazing. For all those who have been tuning in, shout out to Damian Poole, shout out to Joshua Jones, who is straight from England, London, Guildford. And actually, before we go to break, I want to say one thing. Baltimore School for the Arts and Showdown Theater Arts engaged with the youth. They did a show with the AIDS charity, and it's going to premiere in Engelberg, France.
Wow.
So shout out to them. Thank you, Josh, for that information. Please stay tuned. We will be back after these messages from the Artist Exchange Radio here at BeExposedRadio.com.
99. Bro, that was it, bro.
You ever say boom?
655. I forgot. I was going to tell him.
So Tim, I'm going to have to ask you one more time.
First they love you, then desert you. Leave with a plate full with no spoon. Ain't no space, I can't escape negativity. I got used to the taste. I've been bad, burned and fucked over. But remain strong through the past over. Kicking haters out of the way like masked over. Roll up, sip something, let it pass over. Who would I be? It ain't the man to me that let the next man take advantage of me. When that storm come, no pan I see. Get with it, not without it, then you'll see. I beat the haters, they know I'm greater. That's why they buzzing for the elevator. But I can't save you, we too loud on the pedal stool. Don't carry favors, always got your hand out demanding favors. When I just looked out, now you need more paper. I can't breathe, give me 3 feet. I never let y'all be the death of me. When my patients run thin, yeah, nigga OT, cause they wanna see me down like I'm an CT. 6 words, get the fuck away from me, say I help you out if you can help yourself. I keep it G till I DIE. Now excuse me while I get back to PC. HOP ain't losing sleep while your third eye.